Well, for today's practice, I'm going to start off with a little story. This story is an ancient story out of India. And the reason why I wanted to bring it up today is because it showed up in one of my Reiki sessions over the weekend. I've been giving Reiki since about 2012. I started receiving Reiki in 2009 when I was going through my divorce. And I was getting that energetic work done once a month, and I could tell it was really helping me. And it took me a few years to figure out how to get trained in this area because I wanted to be able to gift it to others. And then last year I got my Reiki master. Hi, come on in. I got my Reiki master, and ever since then, intuitive messages are just coming more and more and more as I work on people. And so there was this woman that I was working on over the weekend, and there was a certain theme that was kind of going on with her when I started working on her body. And there was this unusual point at some part of the healing where sometimes I get visuals and other times I'll get words. And the word that kept coming in over and over again was walnut, 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 walnut. It was weird, right? I was like, okay, for whatever reason, I'm supposed to be telling you walnut. Wow. And she didn't say anything at first. And then when I moved on to a different area of the body, she was like, just so you know, walnut is really significant to me. And I'm like, really? What does it mean to you? And she was like, ever since I was a little girl, I would see a walnut. And I would see it fall off the tree, and when I would break into it to, eat it, she was like, once you break it, it'll break into two. And she goes, I've always looked at the walnut as being your soulmate, and you're looking for your other half. And she was like, that's what it's always meant to be, that true love aspect, that soulmate aspect. And I thought it was interesting. It didn't have anything to do with the rest of her reading, but it had come up when I started working on the other part of her body. I called in help, ascended Reiki masters, or I'll call in the angels to hold the space and help with the healing. And at some point, usually at the right hand, because I know so much about Hindu deities, I'll always invite one in because there's some symbolism that they try to give me. And sometimes the symbolism will mean something very significant to the rest of the reading. And when I called that in, the vision that I got didn't have much to do with the theme that was going on through the reading, but it did relate back to the walnut, because the vision I got was Radha and Krishna swinging. And I had seen them depicted swinging before, but I didn't know the story behind it. And so that inspired me to look up the story, but all I could see were the lovers, and I knew they were lovers. I knew they were the beloved of each other, and they were just swinging and swinging and swinging. And I said, I don't know how to interpret this, but the way I interpret it is, he's coming. Your person is coming. And so the story goes, Krishna, growing up in India, was a young boy. He was a prankster. He was a trickster. He had lots of charisma. He was always getting into trouble because he was so mischievous. But he was also really, really smart. And a lot of the gopis or milkmaids swooned over him. They thought, oh, he's so cute, and oh, he's so fun, and they just loved telling him. And then he discovered Radha. And Radha was this person he started having this love affair with. And even though all the other girls and milkmaids were fixated on Krishna, Krishna only had eyes for the one. He was only devoted to Radha. And they went to this festival called the Julan Festival, and it usually happens in India in late August. And this festival is a swinging festival, not swinging as in couple swinging, but swinging, actual physical, literal swinging. And they would create these big swings, and they would dress them up and ordain them with vines and flowers and jasmine and anything fragrant. And then the kids and the lovers would come swing. And so they went to this festival, and Krishna is swinging his beloved, his Radha. And then they switch swings to where they can face each other. And then they switch swings to another one that's decorated like a lotus. And then they switch swings. And Krishna's like, okay, I'm going to swing you very forcefully. And she starts to get scared and she's like, oh, Krishna. And then he jumps on the swing and she wraps up in his arms. And that depiction of her wrapped up in his arms and then blissfully swinging is what is often depicted. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you because I discovered there is a pose that I've never done in a yoga class before, but it is considered a yoga pose. Because I just had to Google after reading that story. I'm like, is there a pose dedicated to Krishna? There should be, but I don't know of one. And I found one. And what was interesting was in 22 years of doing yoga, I've never seen it done in an actual class, but I've seen it in Indian dance and I've seen it in Indian storytelling. And so the pose is called Natvarasana. And Natvara is a secondary or alternate name to Krishna, and Nata even means dance. So even though we're going to be doing an Ashtanga type practice, we're going to be adding in that pose, and you can learn something new. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's just start standing. Let's just get right on into it today. Sure, we'll get back up. So we start with sun salutations, and I want you to root around your feet, spread the toes nice and wide. Ignite the muscles through the legs, lift up through the sternum, and stand with attention. Bring your hands down to Namaste at the heart, and then close your eyes. Maintain your good posture. And feel as though there's a rope coming up through the body and someone is pulling you up towards the ceiling. Feel that extra elongation as you breathe in. And feel yourself slightly drop and surrender as you breathe out. If you can, constrict the backside of your throat and allow the breath to become more audible to hear. This is the rhythm in which I want you to move with today as we explore these poses. Set your personal intention for being here today, and feel free to dedicate your practice, giving your good vibes and energy to another. On your next in-breath, open the eyes and reach the arms up overhead to Urdhva Hastasana. And as you exhale, pour down into Uttanasana. As you release the head and the heart, inhale, pop up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, you're going to step it down the mat, crank it low to Chaturanga Dandasana. And then as you inhale, we're rising into upward facing dog. As we exhale, we're rolling back to downward facing dog. Listen to the sound of your breath coming and going. Bringing the breath under your conscious command. Learning to master the breath, learning how to master the body, and learning how to master the mind. Part of the yogic experience. Next in breath, let's bring the feet to the top of the mat, lifting up halfway on the right. And exhale, bow down. Inhale, spring all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale to Samastiti. Good, let's keep this going. Inhale, open up and expand. Exhale, humbly fold. Inhale to Takoya. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. You can always bounce back to that one pose if you don't want to pass through plank. Inhale will bring you to the stilts of the arms, and the exhale will engage the core to cast the hips up and back. Let your head bow between the arms. Breathing in, breathing out. Next inhale, let's come to Ardha Uttanasana at the top. Exhale, release down and Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. I'm gonna keep this going, a couple more rounds. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, elongate the vertebrae, look out with your eyes. And exhale, elbows clip into the side body as you drop and hover. Inhale, open the heart and throat. Exhaling, lengthening through the limbs and opening up space between each vertebra. Link back to your breath. The breath bringing in this vital life force energy. The energy that animates the body. The energy that allows for creative juices to come up, to be expressed. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana at the top of the. Exhale, close into self. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Do one more A. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pop up. Exhale, take it down and up. Wait for the inhale to rise and await the exhale to carry you into the counter. And within this inversion, then hold them back in on the breath. Remember, within the breath is not just oxygen, but energy, not just energy, but information. Inhale to the top of the mat, open the heart. Exhale, release. Inhale to the top. Exhale, recenter. All right, moving into B. Inhale, take your chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, pull straight down. Inhale, a little pick me up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Right foot's gonna lead in warrior one. So step the right foot forward, plant the back heel, and come up, arms straining the face. Get the spine more erect. Hold, plant the palms, and return to the Vinyasa. Once you return to down dog, left foot's gonna lead, warrior one. Front knee aligned over the ankle. Back heel planted down, palms face each other. Exhale, fold. Continue the flow. Breathe here. Inhale, feet to the top of the mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, Utkatasana, the way we start. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, two more of those. Inhale, keep warming up the body, igniting your inner fire. Same sequence. We start with the right foot in warrior one first. Begin that experience and then continue. Remember, we have all the elements inside of us. Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. If you're feeling really stiff in your body today, see if you can tap into one of those other elements. This third downward facing dog, we remain. And let's complete it. Feet to the top of the mat. Open up the heart. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, the heart. All right, we're just doing one more beat. Once you move from Ardha Uttanasana to Chaturanga Dandasana, remember you can flow through plank. The right foot will lead to warrior one, same sequential order. Notice our tendency to want to speed up or to rush it towards the end. Try to maintain that same cadence you began with. And just notice, is your breath more manageable or is your body more manageable? Hold it for 2 more breaths. Inhale to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right. So separate your feet. Instead of doing Padangusthasana, we're going to fold. And we're going to do Padahastasana. So we're taking the hands right up underneath the soles of the feet, toes at the crease of the wrist, and dropping the chin towards the chest. Tap back into the wind of your breath. Now that we've received this counter pose for the hands, release the hands one at a time, wrap them around your waist and slowly come up. All right, once you come up, we're gonna change the way we do Ashtanga. We're gonna make it more of a blissful thing here. Feet come closer together. Hands to prayer position at the heart. We're going to add in our standing poses. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, flow down. Treat it like an A sun sal. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. So keep it simple, taking the vinyasa, and then we're going to change it up. So typically in more of the Ashtanga format, we step through to do standing, but we're going to do the standing poses from a flow today. We're going to step the right foot all the way up towards the hands. We're going to plant the back foot to the floor. We're going to straighten the right leg, taking the hands to the shin or prior to the shin, left arm reaching upward. Now some of you might be more flexible. The hand comes all the way to the floor, ankle or foot. That's okay, but are you still opening up through your belly and chest? Try to practice those straight linear lines. Now as we exhale, I want you to cast your gaze down, lunge the front knee, take the hands down, and we're going to offset and hop the left foot forward. You're going to roll the left thigh and hip around towards the front of the mat. You can fold if you want to take pyramid. Pyramid actually would be a good prerequisite to go into your revolving triangle. So on your next in-breath, lift your head and your heart, stay stacked on your left hand or block. We carry the right arm stacked. Breathe. Lower the right hand, lunge the right knee, slide your left foot back or step it back. Good. Right foot plank. Take the vinyasa if you so choose. And then we're going to take that left foot and step it all the way forward. Plant the back foot. Straighten the left leg, hand to foot, ankle, or shin. Right arm reaching skyward. Opening up the belly and chest. It's okay to have the hand resting on the body as long as you're not dumping your weight into that hand. You're still trying to extend through the vertebrae. You're still trying to lift through the ascension of the right hand because that's the pinnacle of the pose. That's where we're really directing the energy. And exhale, let's bring the hands down, lunge the front knee, offset and hop the right foot forward, plant the heel, squeeze the left hip in, roll the right hip around towards the front of the mat, and drape over the front leg. Be in that form of pyramid pose, neutralizing the sacrum. This music you hear in the background is Jai Tai. He's very celebratory type of artist. Inhale and tap away. You can tell he has spent time in India. Lift your left hand up. This kind of music, this kind of celebration sound is something that you hear on the streets of India a lot when there's a festival happening. So just kind of consider this would have been going on with that Julan swinging festival. Included in the story. Right, exhale, let's bring the left hand down. Lunge that left knee, hop the right foot back. When you're ready, take that next vinyasa. We are getting a lot of our vinyasa flow in today's practice in the beginning. In the next set, we're going to work on side angle and revolving side angle. So when you're ready, bring the feet to the top of the mat, lift up halfway. Exhale, drape down, belly, chest, face. Inhale, treat it like an egg, come all the way up. Hands on her. All right, you know what's coming. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, create some space. Exhale, Chaturanga. Wait for the in-breath to rise up. Await the out-breath to roll back. Starting with that right foot steps through, back heel lowers. Bringing the elbow up to the knee. Left arm crosses over the ear. Rolling that shoulder back. If you would rather take a different expression, you can. Now we need to change the back foot if we're going to take the twist. All right, so if you come out of that position, you can hop the back foot around so the toes are turned more in. I personally like to come to the ball of foot all together, lift the heel. You can choose what's best for your back knee. You can land your left hand, fly your right hand up. You can also take your left arm to the outside of that front thigh. And take the right arm up and back. Some people prefer hands to prayer, elbow to the outside of the knee. Exhale and wind. Right foot plank. Take the vinyasa or skip it. Notice he's singing Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. I'll pick this music just for today's story. Left foot steps through. Back heel drops down. Left elbow resides on the knee. Right arm rolls back out of your peripheral line of view. Keep opening the left hip. Drilling down with your right foot. All right, exhale, let's lower. Offset the foot or spin it to the ball of the foot. Right hand down, left arm up. Right arm to the outside, left arm up and back. Or hands to prayer, if that's your preference. Pick one. Good, exhale and wind. Final vinyasa. Once you rock and roll back, plant those palms, press down through the feet, shine your seat up. Nice in breath, feet land at the top of the mat. Open up through the chest. Exhale, hang down. Inhale, closing out these Surya Namaskaras. All right, we're going to be preparing. So let's first of all set the left foot to the center of the mat. Cross the right foot over to the other side. Your toes are still pointed ahead. Hands to the hips. Lift your navel. Exhale, hinge forward. And as you hinge forward, you're going to slowly descend. As you descend, notice how you may be distributing your weight evenly between the feet. And that's okay, because we needed that for the descent. But for the static hold, we're going to shift our weight more towards the sole of the left foot, where the right foot is lighter to touch down. And when you put more weight in your left foot, hopefully you'll feel that deep stretch in the outseam of the leg, the outseam of the calf, knee, IT band, and obviously the hamstrings too. All right. Put the weight back in both feet as you start to lift up. That way you can come up safely. Hands can return to the hips. Uncross the feet. All right, right foot to the middle. Left foot crosses over. Lift through the navel. Start to hinge. The weight can be distributed evenly for better balance on the way down. But then once you're down, shift your weight more into your right foot. Less weight under your left. IT band activate here. Smooth, even breaths. Those are your breaking through any kinks, any stagnation. Let the floodgates of energy open. Because that IT band goes back to the gallbladder meridian, which is all about what galls us, what irritates us, what's frustrating us. You know, there's a lot of irritability these days. There's a lot to be frustrated about. All right, put the weight back into both feet. And slowly come up. And across. face not roll for balance. Throws me off. Okay, I'm gonna face you, Melissa. All right, you're gonna ground your left foot. Jai Tai is gonna challenge us too with that voice. When you're ready, pick up the right knee, catch it. We're gonna modify, like Usasana A. Fixate your eyes somewhere. And open the hip. All right, we're gonna bring the knee back. We're gonna change it up today. We're gonna hold at the knee and hinge over to a modified Padangusthasana seat. Take your time releasing out of that. All right, here we go. We're going into Makarasana. It goes along with our story today. We're going to cross the right foot over. Keep the heel off the floor. Because we're going to spin the heel down so the toes are rather facing the standing leg as much as you can. I know that's a lot. And then we lean into the hips. And we take the arms out to the side. This is the pose. This is like Krishna is often depicted playing the flute. Here being Krishna playing the flute. He's often depicted blue. I think I mentioned that, kind of like the Avatar movie. All right, gently release. Yes, it's. All right, second side. Rounding right foot. Holding left knee. Fall back. Gaze is set. Open the head to be. Back in front, both hands. To C. All right, crossing the left foot over. Turning the foot down, pushing into the hips, hands to the left. Like you're dancing and playing the flute. Stretches more in the low back and the hip. Now you know when you go feet down at the top of the mat. We're going to come back down to the floor, hands to prayer. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, feel free to dive here. Inhale, sit back, downward facing dog. And then for downward facing dog, you can either come through crisscrossing the ankles. You can come through and sit with your legs straight, or you can just come down the tabletop and then bring the legs out in front. I used to be brave and bounce through, but then I stopped when the pandemic hit. So now I'm a little nervous. Okay, arms left. Exhale, fold. Your thighs are pushing down, your heart is being pulled and drawn forward. Your eyes can be set beyond the toes or down towards your knees. So I failed to share another piece of that story. In the mix of the festival, rose water was being sprayed on the couple, and they were decorating each other with beautiful garlands made out of flowers. So we'll be getting the garland pose in today too. You inhale, come up, bend your right knee, turn open from the hip, down into Shavasana. Arms reach back up. Exhale, forward fold. Usually a singular leg stretch is easier than the double leg stretch. You may be able to find a little bit more flexibility here. Inhale, draw up. Okay, we're gonna bend the right knee, but the foot is gonna separate away from the straight leg. The right arm is gonna reach to the inside, and then we turn, basically twisting the arm as it wraps. And then we lengthen the left arm in front and circle it behind the back. And it's okay if the hands can't touch. Just do your best. You are still leaning out, creating that forward fold. Come up, the right leg out, left knee bends, turn over from the head. Arms reach up. Exhale, drop in. Side glues down to the floor, navel spins over towards the straight leg. Inhale, come up. Left knee up, foot down, space in between the two sides, so that the right arm and torso can come to the inside of the knee, and then you rotate. Continue to rotate that arm so that it can wrap. Yeah, and then the right arm reaches. So you know what it is? You're just doing that.
This is my frozen shoulder.
Oh, got you.
I can't do it.
Yes. And I was like, I know you got this.
I know. I'm
That's
sorry,
right.
fine, but
Because I was watching it going, okay, it's not wanting to rotate.
yeah,
Frozen shoulder would be a good reason for it not to.
yes, this is the only range of motion that go ahead and back.
Yeah,
So it's like here.
it's impressive you can do that though.
Yeah, I can only put my left hand on my hip when I started.
I wonder if you'll see more progression now that you're retired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the stress of the job being done. And then inhale. All right, pull that out. We're moving towards an arm balance. I know it's your favorite. Feet crossed, palms down, sit back, downward facing dog. Okay, what we're gonna do, I want you to look forward towards your hands. Bend your knees, bounce the feet up. Good. Turn the toes forward, elevate your seat. Slide your hands back as you drop your head down. Drop the tailbone and squeeze the legs to the shoulders and arms. And then if you can, heel toe the feet towards the center of your hands and maybe flex and float them up to Bhuja Kondasana.
And then if you're here and you want to take Tadasana, you can straighten your legs. Then if you take Tadasana, land the feet and drop your seat. Oh, yes. That's it.
Sweet. Okay, before we move on with that, questions with that? I know it's like, what? So one thing that's blocking you from lifting, because I just happened to be looking at you when you were holding it, getting the hands farther back. That's the trick. And not everybody's wrist has the flexibility for that. So if that's your block, what you'll do is just work on flexibility of the wrist.
But if the hands are here, it's gonna be hard to get into the pose. So the hands have to be more, more at the heels. Do you see where my wrist is behind?
Yeah.
And then that gives me the availability to sit and then get the feet around in front. A little trick of the trade.
Any other questions? It is, it's a lot for the wrist, especially if you're corporate, on the computer a lot, it's a lot. Okay. Feet together. Lift your head. Hold over your feet, Uttanasana. If you're at least halfway down, which most of you are, women are typically more open in this area. You can walk out on your fingertips and notice when your arms walk out, it will lengthen your back, which will accelerate the stretch that you're feeling in your thighs and inner hips. Link the piece measure around each big toe. Rest on your seat. Fly the legs out. Try to lift your heart. And this is kind of fun if you want to play with it. Oops. Maybe a prop in the way. To roll back into plow. And then to roll back and try to catch yourself here, which is not easy. Or the wall might be in the way. Ooh, you made it. Sarah wasn't sure from this angle. And then release the feet. Fold over to Kamasana. So try to stay on the center of your heels with your toes lifted up. Don't really worry about how high or low you are. It's about form today. Sometimes we just drop in our more yin. But let's line it up properly. And then we're going to change it up and move towards garland pose. And garland pose actually does have an inverted quality to it. So just know we don't always have to go to a headstand to get the benefits of being upside down. So go ahead and come up, slide your feet in. You're going to lift to a squat. Now for garland pose, the heels are actually touching. So we're going to bring the hands down, lift the tailbone up, and track the feet closer together. Okay, take your time with that. Toes turn out, heels together, and then elevate your heels, staying on the balls and feet. Yeah, and it's okay if they separate a little bit. Your first way to express this pose is to lower the head and heart and extend your arms out. And the placement of the hands can help you to balance. If you want to play with your balance, remember how we were taking the arms in front of the shins earlier? The same idea. The arms cross in front of the shins, back of the hands to the outer hips, and then we spill the head down more. The third variation of garland, if you want to try it, is hands slip down to rest on the floor behind the feet, and the head may even touch down as you continue to bow forward. The head actually drops lower than the heart.
This is Garland. Wouldn't it be nice if we were being sprayed with rose water right now? I meant to bring rose oil in and I forgot. So you can imagine you're smelling the scent of a rose. Gently bring the arms back out in front. Turn your toes forward, drop your heels down. And then slowly come up to stand. All right, you're actually already in a pretty good placement. I'm not. And those of you that are further up to the front, you can step back on your mat. So our final little piece we're going to work on today is this. I'll just show it to you. So if you wanted to start in squat, you could. Hands down, hips up, toes forward. Elbows squeeze, shift, find your balance, and lift your feet. From crow to headstand prep. And then if you feel like going into headstand, you can. And if you feel like practicing coming back here, you can. And child's. If you're like, I already did the arm balance and I don't like that headstand. I like the other headstand. I need a wall. Then follow Cindy. Because I know that's what she's going to choose. Take your mat to the wall. Imagine this is the edge of the wall. That's where I would measure. And you can see her doing it too. Once everything is measured, then crawl in. Activate the upper back and core. The feet travel in. And you can curl up, hike up, or kick up. So practice one of those. Crow to face that fear of coming down to the head. Oh, and you may want more padding. Let me see, how thick would you? This is what I would suggest. I think this would be better. Okay. So have your hands here. To your head. Beautiful, Melissa. Beautiful, okay? You're so close. I'm gonna help you a little bit, okay? So before you lift your feet, what you do is when you're shifting and lifting, don't just lift your feet. Lean forward a little bit, but keep your head up until the feet just naturally float. Yeah. It was that.
Moving. It's like standing there.
Yeah. Well. Oh. Close. And you have the same issue that she's had. So when you shift and lift and feel that, and it's awkward. But keep the head up until the feet just naturally want to come up. Just go slow. And know that that's there to catch you. Yep. Got it. You got it. That's it. And sometimes it's like that. Oh, okay. So sometimes it can be the size of the back leg. If you're perspiring, just look like, okay. So just know sometimes it's floating. Yeah. Any more questions about that? All right, now that we've had a little fun time, it's time to relax. Jenny, I know this is the first time seeing you in a couple of years. Yes. So Jen and I decided on Mondays when I teach blissful flow, it's the traditional blissful flow that you're used to.
Yeah.
Wednesdays is amped up physically,
not Ashtanga,
Yeah.
but Ashtanga inspired, so a little bit more physical, just for future reference. All right, we're gonna take Shavasana. You can lie down on your back, you can use a bolster to take under your thighs, you can take a back bend. Usually a back bend is not always the best after Ashtanga-ish type practice. But basically find your resting point. If you want to sit and meditate, you can sit and meditate. And I'm going to find a song I want you to listen to for Shavasana. So this Maha Mantra is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And Krishna is obvious, right? He's a character in the story. But Hare is another name for Radha. So it's like Krishna Radha, Krishna Radha, Krishna Radha, Radha Radha, Krishna Radha, Krishna Radha. Right? It's talking about the love affair between the divine masculine and divine feminine. You could also look at this as the love affair between the creative power in humankind. So it's like a love story, it's like a love song. Now, at the end of this practice, I want you to fall into yourself and I want you to fall in love with yourself. So often we're constantly loving on the outside, but let's love a little on the inside. And when I told that woman the other day, when she was telling me she was searching for her soulmate, I'm like, something that helped me was hearing someone say, be your own soulmate. Become your own twin flame. And when you do that, you'll automatically attract. So practice that now.
Start to deepen the flow of our breath. And the knees. Maybe hug them in if you're flat on your back. Maybe sway side to side, some massage. Roll to one side. Have a bolster. Please sit on the edge, and if you don't, maybe you can roll up your sticky mat to sit on the edge or walk or blanket. If it's not comfortable to sit on the floor. So Monday, when we ended our practice, we talked about a music producer, Mutt Lang, who goes in every morning and meditates for an hour or more while the musicians are coming in and beating the drums and getting their sound and checking the mics. And he's able to do that in all the chaotic noise. So today, I want us to meditate a different way. There's all different kinds of ways to meditate. I want you to find what's in front of you at about, 3 to 5 feet. And you're actually going to have the eyes open. Okay? This is used a lot in Zen Buddhism and in Shambhala Buddhism, where they're teaching themselves to meditate with eyes open versus eyes closed. So find one spot on the floor in front of you. Set your gaze there. Follow your breath in and out. both whenever you need to. Stare at content. Swallow whenever you need to, because when we meditate, the energy is coming out, calls us to salivate. Quiet your mind. Let's join our palms together. Close your eyes. And so just remember, you can meditate with the eyes open. So whenever you're in a busy environment like the airport, or even if you're sitting quietly outdoors, just know that you can sit and meditate with your eyes open, just following the in and out flow of your breath, calming and quieting the mind. Love and the light that I hold within my heart bows humbly to the love and the light that you hold within yours. May we all be a shining light to others as we depart away from this practice. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thanks to all of you for showing up today and from home.